Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. The lighting's a little bit actually kind of off right now. We're kind of, I don't know. I could raise the blinds there. I'm not thinking that's such a good idea, just because it'll be really bright. Uh, but we'll pass on that for a sec, because a few things I want to talk about. One, we got very close to where I want to be on this project today. I kind of maybe possibly messed up right at the end because kind of I was very focused on doing some practice on working on my speaking voice and getting that up to a shape because I thought, well, I had some reasons to believe that if I speak with a confident voice and speak in a way that people actually seems like I want to have something to say, then it's probably going to manifest into some form of confidence on my own. So if you think so yeah, that's basically what happened, and then I didn't end up doing that because I got distracted. So I'm not doing a video tomorrow, but we may do it Thursday, which is fun, and we'll see how it goes then. So that's exciting. It is. I'm glad we worked that out. So anyway, this is definitely the worst part about this. Not the worst, maybe the best. Maybe it's just a thing about it. Definitely the most thing about this is that I 50 minutes is a long time to talk just about anything, really. You try talking for 15 minutes unscripted. It's difficult. It's not a it doesn't come naturally to me. But that is the whole point of this project, to kind of figure out what I'm doing. I'm kind of I've kind of failed because I've maybe you don't realize how difficult this is in my head because I'm trying to be more over the top. I don't know if over the top is the right word here, but I'm not sure what really is the right word. What I suppose what I'm trying to say is I want to have maybe, well, in my head, my YouTube character persona, whatever, is a more laid back, witty character. And naturally, to do that, I try and have a more laid back role and not be so YouTubey. But the interesting thing about a person on a camera compared to talking to someone in real life is you can get away with a lot more pizzazz on a camera. It doesn't seem as off-putting when you have someone speak normally on a camera. When if you're speaking to them in real life, you'd think this is a normal conversation, but it's much more, maybe boring is the right word. I think you get the idea. Something like that. It's not quite as, just because it's you're less used to it, and you're looking at a box rather than the whole person. So it's you kind of have to play up yourself a bit more, I think, anyway. And I am bad at doing that sort of thing. I am bad at expressing any emotion, really. So to get to a point where I'm overplaying myself is quite a long time away. And kind of really the only way to get to that point where I am speaking as loud and as gallantly, I don't know if that's a word, but like that, I really need to go too far the other way and go too expressive. And I don't know how to do that because that's actually quite difficult. But hopefully, I can mold myself in a certain way, and hopefully, by the end, again, as I say, the end of this project, maybe even the end of the week, we've got a whole bunch of timescales going on. But hopefully, at some point, I figure out what I'm doing, I figure out my place, and then things start being more natural. So that's the goal. That's the plan. Anyway, um, yeah. Usually, I try and the intros of these. I try and ramble. Actually, that's just a thought that occurred to me right now, but it's not. It's not a bad idea. If I have an intro, 5 minutes, about as long as what this is, of me rambling, of whatever comes to my head, and then I transition into the structured part of the video for the last 10 minutes of the video, that might be a good, as what I was talking about yesterday, that might be a good way to mediate the two issues I'm having of the two kind of things I want to work on. But yeah, so that's good. Sign of things to come, I suppose, in that sort of way. And excitingly, I'm gonna have to listen to it and see, but the audio quality may be better than this. It won't improve the actual sound of my voice, as I said, because I could have practiced there, but I didn't. But what it should maybe hopefully do is sound crispier or something like that. Because currently, I used to use my iPad microphone, which I assume there's not a lot to that. So I had to turn up the volume 2 times anyway to make it just audible, and then you've got the background noise, and there'll still be issues absolutely with this, and I'm gonna have a blast figuring what those out, figuring out what those are, but it should be a step in the right direction. Kind of what I need to figure out now. I mean, there's gonna be a bunch of things that I don't even know I need to figure out, but what I know I need to figure out right now, is the video camera quality. And there are ways to do that. Probably using my phone would be a better idea. So I'll do that. I just need to figure out a way to put it on a stand, so you can see me properly. Because currently this is angled up towards me, which actually isn't the best angle for anyone really. Which is good because I'm not massively a tall person, so it's not much of an issue to have this angle, except when talking to kids, which is not the kind of branding I want for my YouTube channel. So, or maybe it is, who knows. So yeah, that's cool stuff. There's definitely something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so speaking on me making progress and me making these videos of naturally improving, what I have noticed is that when I talk about when I'm like in bed or when I'm just generally daydreaming, my mind goes to ways that I can make these sort of videos better, and how I can articulate myself better and have a better flow to the conversations, which is good because that's not something even a week ago I used to at all. That didn't occur to me in my head. So hopefully, as my blood just becomes more, runs with that energy, and I keep on thinking of ways to improve this, I can only see that one thing happening there, and that is these getting better. So we'll see. Also, if I improve the camera quality, that could be a good little, again, with the manifesting thing. Maybe if I see myself better on the screen, I may become better. The issue maybe with that is that I know nothing about cameras, so we're definitely never going to go to Hollywood level quality. Not that really anyone expects that, but don't expect that. So anyway, that's I started off this video talking about how difficult it was to cover 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but we are nearly at 10 minutes. So that's pretty damn impressive. So now, the thing is, the actual topic of this video is going to be way more boring than what I was going to talk about. But again, high energy, I've just got to plow through it. So, one thing about me is I get very obsessive over small things. And it's kind of either music or something comedy related. And actually, to be fair, I don't know what music related I've got obsessed with recently. I'm kind of in a transition period with that right now. But with the other thing, I've been binge watching Nathan For You. I don't know where actually it's supposed to be. Not that I watch it illegally, because I don't. But it's a Comedy Central thing, and I think it's amazing. It's exactly my sort of style of comedy, the awkward archetype. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. The big issue with getting obsessed with specific things like that is eventually it will stop. And kind of with music, music stops. You stop listening to music when you get bored of music, so it hurts less. But you don't stop watching TV shows when you get bored of TV shows. Although you could rewatch them, but I don't tend to do that. Really, what happens is you finish it and then it's over. And perhaps maybe this is a good thing or a bad thing for the stopping suddenly thing. But the series finale of Nathan For You is a great little piece of TV. I kind of watched it in different parts because it's like 80 minutes long. I think it's a big one, but yeah, it was definitely worth the hardly waiting because I watched it throughout the whole day, and it's a very moving thing. And apparently, because Nathan Fielder, the host, has a has a new show coming out, The Rehearsal, I think, which is very along those sort of kind of lines, which is fun. So that's good. So that kind of means it's not really all over. But yeah, if you haven't watched that, I would definitely give that a recommendation from me. It's got the channel seal of approval. So yeah, I'm not actually sure what I wanted to talk about actually about the the episode. I think I just kind of saw it and thought it was good and thought that seems like an easy thing to talk about on a video. I won't even need to do bullet points or anything. I probably should have done at least a bullet point. But anyway, that's fine. As I said, it's going to be underwhelming compared to what I was talking about before. But yeah, that's tricky. That's kind of it. The whole blunt of what I wanted to talk about. Usually, when I get to this point, I'm actually in a pretty good position to start doing my outro. So I'm not sure about that. Another thing that I'm kind of iffy on is how long the video should be, because 50 minutes feels like a good time, but I feel like if I did do an hour a day, that would be there's a lot more going on there. I may learn quicker. Possibly an issue with that is that I'm definitely going to tire myself out a lot quicker by doing hour long videos. So if I actually wanted to, again, as the whole point of this is to try and improve my skills at speaking to a camera, if I did tire myself out and started to completely loathe filming these videos, that's probably going to cause an issue. So that's another thing I'm thinking. Maybe at some point at the end of the week or something, I should do an hour long special. But the thing is, I struggle with procrastinating doing these videos anyway. If I got to that level, I would absolutely put it off until the last possible moment I could do it, and then I'd probably make it only 50 minutes anyway. And I'd definitely have to think of things I'm going to talk about in the video and make sure there's actually enough there. So that's something to think about. You know, I love leaving you things to think about. So yeah, we've reached time. That's been good. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. So I'll see you in 2 days, and we'll see how my voice sounds then, or probably will sound exactly the same. But I'll see you later. So goodbye.